Welcome to Concrete Block, the podcast where we dive into the latest news and stories from around the world. I'm your host, Walter Tort Guy. We're glad you're joining us today. As we start this episode, let's take a look at some of the top headlines making waves globally. One story that caught our attention is the ongoing 2025 Osaka Expo in Japan. This international exhibition has brought together over 150 countries to showcase their cultures, innovations, and ideas for a better future. The Expo's theme, "Towards a Brighter Future for All," resonates with many, especially during these uncertain times. However, the road to this event hasn't been without its challenges. Construction delays, labor shortages, and soaring costs have marred the preparations. Not to mention, some countries have chosen not to participate, citing various reasons. Despite these hurdles, the organizers remain optimistic that the Expo will serve as a platform for global unity and cooperation. The Expo features an array of exhibits, from traditional craftsmanship to cutting-edge technology. Visitors can explore pavilions showcasing everything from sustainable energy solutions to virtual reality experiences. One notable aspect is the inclusion of spaces dedicated to conflict zones, such as Gaza, aiming to raise awareness and promote understanding. It's also worth mentioning that the event has sparked controversy, with some criticizing the high costs and others questioning the decision to dismantle the pavilions after the Expo to make way for a casino. Nevertheless, the organizers believe that this event presents a unique opportunity for nations to come together and work towards a common goal. As we continue to follow this story, we'll be keeping an eye on how the Expo unfolds and its potential impact on global relations. For now, it's clear that the 2025 Osaka Expo represents a complex mix of ideals, challenges, and controversies. We'll be right back with more of today's top news on Concrete Block. Welcome back to Concrete Block. We're glad you're still with us as we dive into our middle segment. Today, we're discussing a couple of stories that caught our attention in the world of politics and international relations. First off, let's take a look at the situation unfolding in Australia, where the coalition is facing a growing backlash over its nuclear power proposal. The plan has been met with criticism from local communities who are concerned about the safety and environmental impact of nuclear power plants. We've seen protests and heated debates, with some community leaders even calling Port Augusta the most stupid place to put a nuclear power station in the world due to its unique geography. On the other hand, supporters of the proposal argue that it could provide a credible path to net zero emissions and create new job opportunities. The coalition has promised a 2.5-year community consultation and an independent feasibility study if they form government. However, critics are skeptical about the sincerity of these commitments, and some have accused the party of trying to silence opposition voices. Meanwhile, on the international stage, the United States and Iran have just concluded their first round of nuclear talks. The goal of these negotiations is to strike a new deal that would scale back Iran's nuclear program. This development comes after years of tension between the two nations, and it remains to be seen whether they can reach a mutually acceptable agreement. As we examine these stories, it's essential to consider multiple perspectives and evaluate the evidence objectively. We must weigh the potential benefits of nuclear power against the risks and concerns raised by local communities. Similarly, in the context of US-Iran relations, we need to understand the complexities of the issue and the motivations of all parties involved. By taking a nuanced and balanced approach, we can gain a deeper understanding of these complex issues and their implications for our world. Stay tuned for our final story of the day, right here on Concrete Block. Welcome back to Concrete Block, folks. We're wrapping up today's show with a look at the ongoing situation in Ukraine. As you may have heard, Trump envoy Keith Kellogg recently met with Russian President Vladimir Putin in St. Petersburg to discuss potential peace talks. But what's really going on behind the scenes? According to reports, Kellogg suggested that Ukraine and Russia could establish zones of control or zones of influence as part of a potential peace deal. This idea has sparked concern among some observers, who worry that it could lead to a de facto partitioning of Ukraine. Meanwhile, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has stated that he's open to holding elections once a ceasefire is in place. But with his initial 5-year mandate having ended in May 2024, and elections currently suspended due to the conflict, it's unclear what the future holds for Ukraine's leadership. It's also worth noting that relations between Ukraine and the U.S. appear to be back on track, with resumed talks over a proposed deal on Ukraine's mineral resources. But as always, the situation remains complex and multifaceted. As we try to make sense of these developments, it's essential to consider multiple perspectives and avoid taking sides. The conflict in Ukraine is a deeply human issue, affecting millions of people and families. It's crucial that we approach the topic with empathy and understanding. That's all for today's Concrete Block. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, stay informed.